Hey, good evening, everybody. This is the CSRN weekly podcast. Hey, listen, before the pandemic, we would have what we call video minutes. Once we have our meeting, we'll designate someone to get in front of the camera phone, and we'll just record what happened in our meeting. However, during the pandemic, we stopped meeting. All right, I know you know who this is. If you don't, you need to ask somebody. But listen, we're going to introduce this sister right after we do our 5 minutes to give everyone an opportunity to log on. Let's put the timer up right now, and let's get some music on. All right. All right, awesome. We'll mute us.
There we go.
Hey, good evening, family. This is the CSRN weekly podcast. We come to you every Tuesday, and this is the headquarters of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. And as we always say, all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter, and Black lives can't matter until all Black Lives Matter. And I'm Brother Washington Muhammad, him. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bay, 7 years ago. And we're going to bring Jody on to talk about this within our mission statement in a few minutes. But they had this idea that it didn't have to be a preacher, politician, or professional to speak truth to power. And they had this event at the Doug. They asked me to help organize it. Hey, 7 years later, we're still here getting it in. Hey, listen, enough about me. We got some phenomenal things happening in the city, and I want my partner here, guest, to introduce herself, who you are. All right, so if you could introduce everybody.
So my name is Shannon Ribbon. For those of you who do not know, I am a mother of 5 children with an innately strong desire and eagerness to see my people out of the mental prison that we seem to be in, this slump that we seem to have fallen in, and for whatever reason can't seem to come out of. So I wanted to be part of the change. So here I am.
All right. Look, the reason why I became a fan, there was something that you had posted maybe 2 years ago, and I'm like, damn, we're gonna make it, all right. And then you had an event, you had a meeting. I think it was on Bancroft and Franklin, and I just sat and listened to all of the power. And I think I met you, I met Brother Jamar, the husband, and I knew right then, look, we're in good hands, because most times, family, the same people show up. We do this, and I'm one of the same people, all right? The same people show up. We do the same thing, and we kind of stay stagnant. Yeah. So one of the things that I was glad about how we organize now is there's really no leader. We don't report in to anybody, all right? And you ain't fault, or else we wouldn't be doing. You wouldn't be talking about what you're talking about today. And what we're talking about is Dr. Umar Johnson coming to Toledo. First, before I even get into that, why did you start hearing about what's happening in the community?
That's a really good question. I feel personally that we all should have some love. The way I see my people are people, we are all. So when you're hurting, I'm hurting. That type of thing. So when I'm watching the devastation, when I'm watching these young kids give up their lives so easily, so quickly, whether they're on the behind the gun or they're the ones taking the life, it's so careless. That bothered me to the degree that I felt like I have to use my voice because my heart is aching. I have to do something with this pain. And so how do I turn this pain into something that's beneficial? I have to be a part of the change. And I recognize that the conversation has to start with our parents, with our children, especially while they're young, so that they're not turning up these next 10 to 15 years being the same children that are dying today, but that they are also a part of the change. And that we understand also that we have to be able to speak to our children comfortably and candidly and be accountable for what they are doing, for what we are not doing. Those things matter. We have to have tough conversations.
That's right.
We have to be able to tell our kids no.
That's right.
So those are things that matter to me. And so what do? I say, okay, how do I go the biggest that I can go? And I reached out to Dr. Umar Johnson, and he happened to apply.
All right. Well,
so here we are.
Yeah, you don't get too much bigger than that. All right. You just don't. You're a mom. Okay. So how are you doing all of this and a mother of five? How does that even happen? I barely get out of my house and all my kids are gone.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. How does that happen? How do you balance all of that? And at the same time, you're bringing Umar Johnson. All right.
I feel like it's just something you just attack. When you have a desire, you just go. You're not necessarily thinking about everything else around you at the moment, and that's kind of what.
Right. And also, listen, if there's anybody, if you're in the chat, give us a black fist, give us a what's up.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to speak up, because you're not going to speak up without criticism.
Oh.
All right. Sometimes they tell you should have stayed asleep, Brother Washington, or you should have just stayed asleep, Umar. But I'm not built like that. Obviously, you and your family aren't built like that. But we mentioned Dr. Umar. When is he coming to town?
So he'll be here August 11th, Thursday evening. Doors open at 5 at Greater New Psalmist Church.
Okay. Now, we're going to put the flyer up, because just in case they want to pretend,
Yes.
Hey, look, I didn't hear what she said. Well, we got the flyer up. And there's some key wording I was going, I try to do due diligence on, okay, let's check out the flyer. Check out the month, August, and we call August Black August.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that was started by former prison inmate years ago. And all of August, we're promoting strong Black excellence. And it's awesome that we're putting August. What's the cost of this? Because somebody's gonna say, "Hey, Brother Washington, I really wanted to go, but man, I don't think I got $10. I don't have $5. Can you loan me $3?" All right. So what's the cost?
So it's free. Nobody pays anything. We wanted to do something for the city that there would be no excuse.
Right. So families, no excuses. Let me put it up again. All right. This is August 22nd.
August 11th.
August 11th. What's the time?
6 p.m. to 10 p.m. 2-hour lecture, 2-hour book signing.
All right. And hopefully anyone that wants to ask some questions about Dr. Umar, they can come. There's going to be time to press the flesh.
Yes.
and get some literature. That I think that's a lost art too, us reading books.
Oh, yes.
A lot of us just click on a link. I think we woke. No, bro, you need to get some paper, and read also. So join us August 11th.
Yes, August 11th, Thursday, August 11th, just before school begins.
So Greater New Psalmist Church. How did that happen? That the leadership of the church was like, okay, and hey, that doesn't get unsaid either. How was it that organizing this event, how did that even happen that you decided Dr. Umar and hey, you're going to call him, you're going to email him? How did that even happen?
So reaching out to Dr. Umar, I have been following him for probably about 4 years. So he's got a phone number that he always states after every video that he posts. So I decided to send him a message, and this was months ago, and he was unable to respond. This time, when I decided to do it, he replied immediately.
Wow.
Yeah, and it took me by surprise, but I was very excited to see that. And so then that's how the conversation began. And
the church.
Oh, yes.
All right, the church. I mean, number one, just reaching out. Yeah. Dr. Umar takes strength. Reaching out to any of our leaders, because most times we think, well, I don't want to call Jody because I know he's busy. Well, if everybody thinks he's busy, nobody's going to call Jody. All right. So you have to actually do it. So, if we could, we're going to put some applause. They can hear the applause on the, they can hear the applause because it takes a lot to do that. So, Greater New Psalmist Church, and where's that located?
So Greater New Psalmist Church is 3251 Glendale Avenue, which is also stated on the flyer. Bishop Breon Hall. And to be honest, how I was able to come about with that, I had reached out to a few different churches in the community. Some replied and attempted to try to allow this to take place. Others just ghosted me, unfortunately. But nevertheless, Bishop Breon Hall was so generous. He was so welcoming, and he told me whatever I needed to do, he was 100% prepared. So kudos to Bishop Breon Hall for allowing us to make this happen.
And Breon, Bishop Hall is a friend of mine.
Okay.
All right, I had no idea.
Yes.
All right, and also that lets me know, Brother Breon. All right, yep. All right, I didn't out it myself. All right. I met Bishop Breon at, I think, Mount Zion years ago. And he's always been on that forefront. Years ago when we brought the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to Toledo, while some people were, well, I'll get back to you, Brother Washington, or ghost you, Brother Breon stepped up.
Yes.
Stepped up. Yes. He stepped up. All right. My next question. And also for those of you in the chat, thank you. And thank you to our comrade that said, hey, you guys still have the music on. All right. That's why I didn't have I should have had my.
Oh,
yeah, but that's all right. It's live. It's all good. The next question. Why do you think it will be important for the family to come out and hear what our brother has to say?
So I believe that it would be for good information. I mean, consciousness raising, educational, information that you would not typically get on social media, that you would not get from mainstream, that you would not get from any media platform. This type of person you would not necessarily sit up under on an everyday basis. So you get an opportunity to show up to an event for free, to sit up under a global
Okay,
figure.
say that word free again, because sometimes
free, F-R-E, free.
And family, that does not mean that as soon as you get there, there's a $8 service charge. If it's free, but there's a no, we're not. It's not like that, family. And you're hearing it from us. It's a free event. So, and I learned this, Shannon, that not necessarily free because somebody paid for this.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So we're saying it's at no cost to you, but it costs somebody else. Right. Yes. The logistics, the time, yes. Accommodating our brother.
Yes.
Bringing him here, organizing with the church, and knowing that Breon is not working on an island. He has to talk to others. Yes. And I wasn't in the room when he may have had to fight for this. He may have had to, twist some arms. Yeah. So when we say free, it just means there's no cost to you. Yeah. But there's a great cost. It costs you by, that's my job, calling it down. All right. But it's costing you by posting it. All right. If we were to post, Brother Jamar, who's off camera, if we were to post that you got 5 new kids, how many likes? 1,000 likes. All right. If we were to post that I didn't like Shannon and Jamar anyway, 1,000 likes. But if we're going to post something that's going to uplift our community, that's going to bring us together, that's going to elevate our children, Yeah, it's almost like you didn't post it
Yes.
at all.
Absolutely.
But you know what? Those of us that see it will be there. Some of us who aren't, well, we don't need to be there. We just need positive energy there. We don't need anyone that's going to be talking when we talk. We don't want anyone that's going to try to gaslight and, well, I thought you meant, and come on, we're trying to get our babies. Our babies are dying, and the best we could do is argue with each other while our children are dying in the street.
Yeah.
So I want that to be said because,
Set aside those petty things.
look, you're not going to find anyone that you agree with 100%. All right. Those of us who claim that we love Jesus, well, they killed him. All right. He wasn't liked by everyone. But there's no other person that made a greater impact on society than him. So let's get out of the idea that I'm only going to show up for Shannon if she says everything that I want to hear. I'm only going to show up. Look, and I tell people when they come to our event that, listen, if you only want to hear what you want to hear, then you should have said it outside. All right, coming in here is a great chance. You might hear some things that you don't agree with, but that's all good. So that's how we grow and having some dialogue. Not telling me I can't say that. Not telling me we can fund the police or justice or else, or we can say whatever we want because it's our platform. And if we're bringing Dr. Jamar at no cost, hey, look, and I on the flyer, I don't see sponsored by City of Toledo. I don't see sponsored by the United Way. I don't see it, yes, Jody, I don't see it sponsored by ProMedica. Oh, I'm not gonna say Pro Mafia, not on the mic. But those are the things that handcuff a lot of our leaders. Is who's sponsoring it determines who we engage with. So I'm loving Brother Bishop Rion right now, and a lot of the things that's done in Toledo are sponsored by this, sponsored by that. Mm-hmm. So that determines how strong we can get. Yeah. That determines who we can invite and who you can affiliate yourself with. So I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that when we started this journey, we wanted to fund everything that we do, everything that you see. Nobody can come in and repossess what you bought. I'm going to put on, if you don't mind, I'm going to put on our brother. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back and put on our brother Omar Gent, calling from Colorado Institute. So listen, family, we'll take a short break. We'll come back. This is the CSRN Video Minutes, our weekly podcast. We'll be right back.
Pathway Incorporated Brothers United program believes that children are important. Every day we support and advocate for fathers because when children have involved fathers, the whole community thrives. The fathers that come into the Brothers United program are mostly young fathers who are primarily gang members or drug dealers or those involved in lots of trauma from the time when they were youth until now. The program has fatherhood classes which teach you about your role as a father, the importance of being a father, healthy relationships, how to co-parent and work better together with your co-parent, and then economic stability, how to get a job, how to keep a job. It is so important for fathers to learn to take care of their children holistically, not just emotionally, not just physically, but financially as well, because children need a holistic approach.
I really just needed help with really being a better father and looking for a job to be able to support my kids.
Some of the problems I was facing when I joined Brothers United was communication with my children. Had some time apart from each other for a while, so they gave me the tools to really get back in communication with them.
Fathers will come into our program with their heads down. 2 weeks later, their heads are up. 3 weeks later, they're laughing and talking. 4 weeks later, they're building a bond. And by the time we get to 8 weeks, they're saying, hey, we want to stay here. What can we do to stay connected?
It gave me a better perspective on how to look at things from other people's point of view. You know, sometimes us as men, we get caught up in being prideful and arrogant, thinking we don't need the help. We do. And we just have to put our pride, selfishness, and arrogance to the side. And when the help is there, take it.
Hope plays the most important role in everything that we do, because we have to have hope. We have to remember that fathers are important, and we have to not only say it, but we have to live it. We have to breathe it. We have to do it. We have to convey it to everyone.
Let's get a BU Nation on 3, fellas. 1, 2, 3. BU Nation!
The dads give us hope. The dads supply for us on the days when it gets hard. On the days when we've seen more violence than we ever want to see. On the days when we've lost some dads to jail or to murder, they give us hope. And so the hope that lives can change, if you invest in them, if you believe in them, then lives can change.
Brothers United changed my life, let's say, because of where I come from, what I've been through. I learned to understand it is help out there. Don't be scared to ask for it. If you don't reach, you can't grab. That's it.
They made me more employable, more desirable by employers, which in turn helped me provide for my family and provide for my children and my grandchild. So it makes me a better man, a better father, and a better example.
It showed me like how to be better to my kids, so I went and got custody of my son. My son been with me for a couple months now. So this showed me how to be a better parent all around, just a better man, period.
Initially, I didn't know that it could change men's lives. I didn't know that fathers could change. But it's amazing to me when fathers come back a year later, 2 years later, and tell us thank you. Or they'll make a Facebook post and say, look at what I'm doing now. It's amazing to me about the level of work that we've been able to do and the lives that we've changed in just a short period of time. And the fathers who come back and say, thank you, I needed you, and you were there.
Shout out to Brothers United, man. Be you.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN Weekly Video Minutes. I have with me Shannon Riven, who's bringing our brother Dr. Umar to Toledo, August 11th, 6 p.m. Greater New Palmas Church. New Palmas. Did I say Palmas? Okay, family. All right. Say you ain't been to church in a long time without saying you haven't been to church in a long time. All right. Hey, listen, we have with us right now, we're going to take a kind of a break, but we're going to get back to our sister. We have on the line our brother Omar Gent, calling from the Colorado Non-Correctional Institute. All right. How you feeling, my brother? Yes, sir. So we've got a full studio today. Got some air conditioning going on. For the people who may not know who you are you? And brother, why are you still in the fight? All right. Hey, listen. Today there was a parole hearing, right? What happened today And family, if you're out there, I'm kind of working through my sound. I don't know what the deal is. Usually things are going well, but I got all my things up. All right, all right. But hey, look, I want you to listen closely or turn your phone up. Hey, listen, brother Omar. Once again, thank you for being with us. Listen, brother. One of the conversations I had with someone earlier was about perseverance, staying in the fight. Man, listen, why are you still in the fight? What makes you persevere and keep doing what you're doing?
Well, after like 13 and first election, and translation I have that God will never change the people state of favor. They change their own state of favor. In order to change your condition, you have to change your faith. In order to change your faith, you have to persevere. Missionary is the whole state life. Persevere in the life of a leader. Persevere. That means to be very serious. So if you can be very serious about your work, and be steadfast with the obstacle. Because in the setback comes challenges and moments without being regained. Because if there's a fair things that often people we oppression, degree, or ordained, the repression in that, for you to test your spirit. To sometimes humble you, to see where you really are or where you really are. Sometimes you want to do something. We want to
All right, and thank you, brother. So, regarding the parole hearing today, what type of support do you get from family, from your father, from your significant other, from your other family? What type of support are you getting? All right, all right, brother Omar. But listen, before we leave this call, it appears that most times I will get a good connection, and then something would happen that my connection is not is what I think it is. I'm going to try to link you into our Bluetooth because I've had some people asking, why can't we hear him? And I don't want you to, yeah, I want you to be heard. Give me 1 second, okay, brother? Yeah, hey, this is live, and this is how it goes down, family. I want to thank everybody that's in our chat that's been asking about him and letting us know, hey, look, it's cool you're doing this, but we can't hear brother. All right? Let's see if we can get our brother on. Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. So let me take off these earphones, turn that back off. Because if they can hear me on the mic and you can hear me on the mic, then why can't they hear our brother on the mic? His voice is just clear as mine. So I'm going to just leave it at that right now, leave you on speaker. But what we are going to do, we are going to inform everyone. Matter of fact, I'm going to just put your website up. So for anybody that's thinking about Brother, let's put his website up. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and everybody that's watching this live, thank you. This is some revolutionary work that we're doing. So, Brother Omar, we have your website up, freeourbrothers.com. Why that name? Why that name with the few minutes that we have left? Why that name, freeourbrothers.com? How did that happen?
Well, I did it many years ago. Originally started out, I was trying to get a group of brothers to, represent their cases along with mine, as far as, being illegally incarcerated without an indictment, railroaded to the system. And for whatever reason, I couldn't get their families to join with my family to support the cause. So my brother came up with the name and purchased the space, my little brother, and I think he was doing that, and the name is stuck. The campaign, but it's bigger than this meeting, it's over to, what's happening to the women out here, the children, people of different ethnic backgrounds, and, just the underserved community. So bigger than this Omar Jen and black males, speaking for everyone, and trying to bring attention, starting with my case and helping other people as well.
All right, and I just want to say I've got the best tech team that I could ever have, all right? That's watching my back, that's trying to get the flies out of here, that's letting me know that, man, my sound is lacking. Oh man, yeah, I don't know what, look, this tech team is beyond phenomenal, and whatever they're getting for this, I'm gonna double it. I'm gonna double it. They already know what they get. They're getting everything they deserve. And listen, also on the website, there's the video on the website. Let me find that video for everyone. The video about the incarceration. It looks like that video has been taken down on the website. I don't know what's going on with that, but the mass incarceration video, we're going to try to get that back on the site. All right, but another question: why would you want to stop illegal imprisonment in Colorado? Do you think that's going to eventually affect everyone if we start in Colorado?
Well, I was getting that question at the beginning of my activism. People would be like, well, you think they're going to let everybody go? You think they're going to, over and over again? And I told people all the time, man, all I can do is what the Creator has given me to do. And that's to bring this message to the world, this truth to the world, and put it out, and work with other people who are willing and ready and able, people as yourself, and different advocates and activists. I think we can make I know with the Creator, we can make a great impact. Like my friend Michael Washington, things are pretty close out there in Ohio. He was telling me how they deal with the same thing out there. Not Ohio, I'm tripping in Oklahoma.
Right.
He was saying how they're having the same problem out of Oklahoma with the grand jury system. He put a letter on my Instagram page, a legal certification of voucher, speaking about, what I'm saying is true as far as the freeourbrothers.com and the indictment scheme. They have the same problem out there. So I see this issue, once it is propagated fully, I'm able to keep behind it a lot more for my eventual freedom that other people will start catching on, and it'll be huge.
All right, I've got one more question before we get off this. Before we get that timer that comes on and lets us know who we are. All right.
Yes, sir.
Listen, we struggle here in Toledo with the Toledo Correctional Institution, and if you work there, if you got family there, hey, listen close. Brother, what would you say to all of those brothers who are at the Toledo Correctional Institution, who are engaged in hunger strikes, who are engaged in work stoppages, so that those brothers there could get justice too? What would you say to those brothers and their families?
I think those brothers that God is with you, as you suffer your oppression, you have become the saviors of our people. you're stepping in to do a great work. Thinking of you in the current circumstance you're dealing with now, future generations will be able to look back at your work and hopefully not go through the same thing that you're going through now. So don't forget your saviors of our people. Persevere, persevere, persevere. To the families that say, pull your resources. Please come together. Promote, promote, promote. Put the word out there all around, because prison is about breaking the spirit, about breaking the perseverance, about isolation. And we can't allow that. So let's all come together and lean on each other and brainstorm in the proper spirit of organizational unity and togetherness, and we can make it happen.
Hey, brother, once again, we want to thank you, and the people that are listening to you can follow. Oh, how can they follow? What's your handle on Instagram?
Instagram at Free Our Brothers. Instagram at Free Our Brothers. And Facebook at Free Our Brothers. And then the email is Free Our Brothers, Free Our Brothers, #1 at gmail.com. Free Our Brothers, #1 at gmail.com. And I would love for people to communicate and follow the page, because I need all the followers I can get to effectively attack this white supremacist terrorist organization called Colorado CDOC.
Yes, sir. Well, we 1,000% behind you here in Toledo and everywhere we find our people. We want to thank you once again, Brother Omar. Revolutionary salute. What's up, brother?
Thank you all, and much love.
All right. Hey, listen, family, that's our brother Omar Gent, and I want to thank you for just being patient while we go through some of our tech problems. All right. Hey, listen, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back, wrap up Dr. Umar, and man, August 11th, family. It's free, no cost to you. It's costing others plenty. All right. But that's okay. We built for this. All right. Who are we to say that we want to fight for freedom and not be tried? So we're going to take a short break. We're coming right back. This is the CSRN Weekly Podcast. We'll be right back.
Audio Jungle.
All right, we're back. This is the CSRN Video Minutes. Well, it's a weekly podcast. We used to call it Video Minutes. A weekly review. Jody, I'm going to try my best to get it right. It's not Video Minutes because we didn't have a meeting. It's a podcast where we're going to be talking about what we've done, some of the things that we got coming up, and some of the things in the future, like Dr. Umar coming. So for you, if you could introduce yourself, who you are, and what you're wearing.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth. Actually, y'all get to see my face, and I ain't on the screen at work doing something.
That's right.
I'm the treasurer of this wonderful organization that has been around for the last 7 years, and our podcast that has been going on for 3.
It's a pandemic.
A lot of things that don't even last 6 months. But for those of you out there listening, I am a brown-skinned big bear of a man that is covered in crystals and tattoos and stones and artifacts and stuff for my life as an entertainer, author, filmmaker, all the stuff that I do when I'm not on the social justice line, which is actually a big part of my life. If you guys have seen me in the news and all that good stuff. Yeah, it was good to be in the studio, call it Studio J.
Whatever. Yeah.
But again, like you keep reiterating that, I guess grassroots. That's not having anybody on our banners or posters or silent donations, because I'm the treasurer. So none of that happens. And, you know, you go through bugs, you go through stuff. But as long as you keep pushing, as long as you keep doing something, somebody will.
Right. All right. Hey, listen, I've been following your post. I've been following the post regarding nearly, was it 100,000 views? Was it 200,000 views?
1 million.
Was it 500?
A million.
A million views.
Well, actually, currently 1,058,000.
All right. Beautiful, brother. Can you talk? We're gonna get Shannon, Sister Shannon back. Man, can you talk about your journey? Some of the obstacles that you ran into that you're willing to share. How did you get over it?
Well, a lot of that, and I get to start shameless plugging. Shameless plug, because in 2 months, my next book will come out, book number 6, along with the 5 anthologies I did this year. So honestly, just listening to myself, listening to a lot of people that actually cared about me, and showing up, not just showing up online. It is great, because some people can't show up in person. I've been to protests all across the country. I've done shows all across the country, but not everybody can be there. But a lot of people still want to support, so don't be discouraged because you can't be there as long as you make the effort to try.
Yeah.
When I started out, again, I was homeless and stuff more than a decade ago. And I have books in libraries, art museums, and all that stuff. So it's just consistency, purpose, and repetition, which I call see that in the next book.
Hey, look, my last question, because you're coming back for 5 minutes of heat.
Yep, coming back for 5 minutes of heat and wrap up with everything going on currently in the city.
All right. Hey, listen, self-care is a big part. And within our guiding principles, we talk about self-care as being essential and intentional. What do you do for self-care? Because I've seen you on one post, you were in 2 places at the same time. All right. I'm like, come on, bro. Come on.
I mean, so far I've clocked in 1 hour of sleep for the week. I plan on doubling that today.
Okay, good.
But I don't know. It's just, where do you want to put your energy at? Where do you want to see things evolve at? Mine's is the whole city. I don't have a specific people. I mean, what was it? Sunday, I was at the African American Festival. It was the day that I was at the African American Festival. Saturday. Okay. That's how long it's been. So Saturday, I started my day at the African American Festival. I went, handled a business meeting for the event. I got on the 6th, got a call, and then I went out into Gibsonburg to do the Tomato Fest with a whole bunch of people till like 4 a.m. That's an average day for me. I try and plan as much as possible, but honestly, I'm the community, I'm the city, which means I don't get to pick a side and choose who I'm going to be there. It's, if you contact me, I'm going to do my best.
All right, like they contacted Dr.
Like they contacted Dr. Umar, and hopefully I'll have the day off. I can't even think that far ahead, but if I can, I will be there.
All right, well, let me help you out. I'm going to find with the 11th. Oh, the 11th is a Thursday.
11th is Thursday.
It's a Thursday, 6 o'clock. Thursday is my free day. All right. And all right.
Currently, right now, there's nothing on my schedule.
Okay.
So
I'm there. I already posted online that I'm there. You know, I'll just say Ashe, the one who changes the thing, the one who makes the thing happen. So we ain't gotta be maybe, I don't know. Just say it. All right. Hey, listen, we're gonna top some loose ends with Shannon. Gonna take a short break. This is the CSRN Weekly Podcast. We can review. We will be right back.
Did you know addiction is a disease, not a moral dilemma? The opioid epidemic and substance use have a major impact on communities of color and many people's lives. Wasion Wellness Recovery Support Center offers culturally relevant inpatient and outpatient behavioral health treatment and recovery support services to any Ohioan struggling with addiction, mental health, or finding sober safe housing. We must recognize that treatment is available and accessible to all. If you are in need of treatment or want to find out more information, you can call 1-888-728-2713 to talk to someone or schedule an appointment.
Okay.
All right. Family, I guess you heard Jody talking offline. Here's what I need all of us to do. All right. All right. Listen, we had talked about Dr. Umar coming to Toledo, and it's a free event. For those of you that want to support the event, contact Shannon Riven Facebook page, or you can assist through CSRN 419 and make sure you put that this is for Dr. Umar. Support the effort. All right. The event is free, but we need your support to help relieve a lot of people that have already pushed this forward, to help absorb the cost. So you don't have to pay to get in. But for everybody that wants to be involved in a mission, there's some of us that are on the front line, and there's some of us that should support by passing up the ammunition. So all of us get an opportunity to fight however you can. So if you want to support, contact Sister Shannon on Facebook. If you want to support, you can help support through CSRN. And we'll gladly assist in this endeavor because there is a cost. But for all of us that are attending, we're going to attend free. So let that be said that please support the event. If you can support it financially by contacting Sister Shannon, do that. All right. If you want to contact, since you on the podcast, go right to our page. You can. Best believe we're going to make it happen. All right. All right. Hey, listen, Dr. Umar's coming to town. I wanted to ask you this. What was it about Dr. Umar that attracted you to him? For me, it was the school. Talking about an all-boys school. All right. Because there is an attack on our boys. Yes, it is. All right. And it's not a conspiracy. All right. It's deliberate. It's planned. It's well thought out. The outcomes that you see now in our schools are based on the goals and objectives of someone. Just don't have this nationwide, and it's an accident. So for you, that's what attracted me, that brother. And the fact that we take shots for saying that, all right? Because we didn't include everybody. And we ain't talking about
We're
everybody.
not talking about
We're talking about our black boys. All right. And they deserve to have some attention and love and care without bringing everybody else
Absolutely.
in. All right. So, hey, for you, what was it about Dr. Umar?
For me, it was the fact that he was so unapologetic. It was the fact that he stood on what he believed, and without reservation. Like he always says, I don't dance unless I like to. I don't scratch unless I itch. And that to me is somebody who stands their ground no matter what. And I liked that because I feel strongly about how I, perceive what's going on around us too from a systematic standpoint. And I could relate to how he approached it because I'm the same way. So that's kind of like I saw the commonality that we had. Although I'm a female, it's a little different because he's, being a male, standing so strong like that. But it still was common to me. I'm like, man, I feel the same way. And raising my consciousness, that's what I was trying to do because I had even started listening to Dr. Amos Wilson. And then from
you
there,
covering all the bases.
And you talk about, so that type of energy is what attracted me to him.
And I think that's there's a universal thread on black men who didn't switch up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And the agenda is for us to switch up. The agenda is to weaken us, to break us.
Yes.
All right. If they can put you in that dress, they got you. If they can get you to go and apologize for being black, all right. If they can get you in any way to cry, all right,
Mm-hmm.
they got you. So yeah, and I love Dr. I love Dr. Claude Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
I love Dr. Amos,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Umar,
Mm-hmm.
all of those. Who, our brother Dave Chappelle.
Mm-hmm.
I love all of us that willing. I love me.
Yeah.
All right, I throw myself in there.
Yes.
All right, because you're gonna take a shots for standing up, and being who you are, without someone telling you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And submitting to their definition of what black is, what a black male is, and
how you should operate.
And that's why I love the space that we've created, that no one can come in and tell us, hey, this should be your mission statement. Well, we already got that.
Yeah.
All right. These are your guiding principles. No, we got that. We like to donate. Well, what for? We good.
Mm-hmm. No strings attached.
Really, we good. And anything that we're doing at CSRN has already been decided. So if you want to support something, you're going to be supporting the things that we've already decided. All right. If you wanted to purchase some Black Lives Matter signs, we've already got them. So it can't be all lives matter, bro. We only sell Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to, we already got it. So if you're going to support us, good. Support us on the things that we've already got going on.
Mm-hmm.
We already got covered. If you want one of the defund the police, Toledo PD sign, hey, we already got it. There was a conversation I had with a couple of brothers, black men, and sometimes, man, come on, we critical. They said they had a problem with 3 of our signs. And I think that they may have had a problem with Black Power if that was the rally call of the day. All right, every generation gets a rally call. All right, I don't get to choose it. It just happens. It was Black Lives Matter. It was justice or else at the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March. I was there 1995. We brought all of our friends back. And the idea of justice or else was that we've given white people our children, our education, our sweat, our blood. We've given them everything. Our money, right? This is the only people that we blame for 80% of our problems, but spend 95% of our money with them. All right, all day, every day, and we decided that, you know what? If you can't give us justice, we'll do it ourselves. All right, cool. All right, don't mean that we're gonna rise up and attack. We're gonna pull our resources for ourselves. So that was justice or else, and everybody like, man, Brother Washington, are you guys having guns? Well, you don't know the Nation of Islam of carrying a penknife. We don't do that. All right, we don't know. We don't do that. We're gonna pull our resources. Okay, all right, all right. Black Lives Matter, man. Why is it just Black Lives? Come on, man. Look, come on. But sometimes you're gonna have to explain. Never get tired of it explaining. If you're tired of explaining, come on, you need to level up, because this world is cranking out new levels of blind, deaf, and dumb every day. So you're gonna have to be willing to show up for the next phase of this aloofness. All right, and you might be the one that inspired them by sitting and talking with them. They may not know. Some of us that do know, I'm not getting into a debate. All right, because I'll look like a fool debating with somebody on the word black, or the word lives, or the word matter. Aren't you guys connected? No, we ain't connected to nobody. Do it look like we're connected? There's a key outside. Does it look like I'm connected to anybody? No. And when it came to defunding the police, and all of these were just 3 words that caused so much fear in people. Well, why do you want to defund the police? What would happen if you get rid of all of the police? Okay, now, if we got rid of all the police, then who would arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor? All right, so stop being foolish. The police work for us. We get an opportunity to say, hey, look, we need more resources going to this department, not just hiring more racist police. We need the funds going to this department, not just this, not just that. And we can make that call. So saying defund the police is not heresy. So don't treat me like I'm this blasphemy. No, we can say what we want. And if I had to say all of this, that would be a big yard sign, or a yard sign with a whole lot of little letters. So come on, us as black men, at one point, we got to stand up. All right? Our sisters are doing it. And for those who met Ruth Leonard, who serves as the lead of our administrative corps, she's doing it. Sister Ava Stiles, that's out here, she's doing it with Brothers United. Sister Donetta Carter, making sure that the social butterfly is up and running and making things happen. Our Sister Jasmine Pope being on the forefront of therapy and teaching people how to be well. So many people that are making it happen. Sister Diane Gordon, leader of the Kwanzaa movement here in Toledo. Sister Sonia of Sonia Organics, who put a garden right there at the corner of Door in City Park, where all of us bet that nothing good could come from that. And years ago, maybe 9 years ago, I was in a room with her talking about the idea with a group of us that thought that she was out of her mind. All right. I was in a room with our sister Alicia Smith, who leads the Junction Coalition. I've been in rooms of many of these iconoclasts. These are the people that say things that the rest of us aren't ready for. So we'll put them down. We'll judge them. We'll say, oh, that could never happen. So our sisters are standing up. And I'm so proud of your husband, Brother Jamar, for being in the studio. I'm so proud of him of being counted, wanting all the smoke. Brother in God, but you could catch them hands too at the same time. All right, after they had a song, all right, like that. And I love that. I love that we can love God, but don't push me either. Just because I love God don't mean I'm scared to death. Just because I love God don't mean that I'm timid, that I'm a back down.
Nope.
No, they ain't making them like that no more. They're making us different.
Yeah.
So watch what
And
you
they're
say.
calling that toxic masculinity.
But you know what? And I'm saying that because I'm gonna just hit on that. White women and silly people that love them can't define who we are. All right. In Kwanzaa, there's the second principle called Kujishagulia, self-determination. That we have the right to define ourselves and name ourselves. No one from outside of our community or no one that looks like us that's being guided from outside of our community have a say so. And they'll even send us that look like me to tell you that you're toxic. All right, so no, we're not falling for that today. We're not. It's about Black love. Or even if me and myself and Jody have different points of view, we should have different points of view. That's why I love CSRN, because if you were at one of our meetings, you'll find that no, they don't agree. Good. We shouldn't.
Yeah.
That's how we sharpen our skills, and then we leave with the best plan and unite on. We just had our Juneteenth at Smith Park. Everyone didn't agree on this way or that way. And I love it when we don't agree. Because groupthink is killing us. Groupthink is what cleared out Wall Street. Groupthink is what made all of the Black vendors decide that they wanted to go to Northtown. Groupthink is what made all the Black vendors who were on, and this is true, who were on Door Street. A lot of our pastors conspired to convince them to give up their businesses because if they moved to Northtown, they get 10 times the customers that they would on Door Street. And then they made this place, this Door Street, this perpetual green space where no other businesses will grow on this street forever. I love my brother Robert Smith, who is a Toledo historian from the African American Legacy Project, who shared that with me, and you can validate that. So we're not going for that stuff anymore. It's about us uniting. Right? It's about us not falling for those same tricks. And if we do, shame on us, because we know better, but we don't get a pass now. But hey, look, that's my soapbox. All right, that's my soapbox for today. And listen, sister, it's about time to bring Jody back and to close us out with 5 minutes of heat. Then we'll all leave with our solidarity pledge and we're out of here. In here.
Yeah, I'm happy to be.
Thank you, Brother Jamar, for being here. I love your family. And having a family is what our former slave masters and their children never wanted us to have. There were 3 disciplines or sciences that they didn't want us to learn. The art, the science of economics, right? The science of mating, right? And the science of self-defense. So they don't mind me being out here with a sign. They don't mind me being a breeder, all right? But when it comes to family, that's something that they
structure and organization.
They'd be happy to have us protesting all day. We start talking about economics, start talking about educating our own. Whoa, Brother Washington, whoa. I think you guys should be focused on the environment, man. Have that environment, all right? What about the environment that we're living in? All right. And listen,
effort.
Right. That's right. Not in unity, not in uniformity.
Yes.
All right. You get uniformity when I was working at McDonald's. All of us wearing the same thing. All right. And we need unity. Different of us doing different things our own way.
For one common goal.
That's right. All right. So, what would you like everyone to know before we close out? Any last thoughts, sister?
Just would love to have the entire community, as if you are a parent, if you are a guardian, if you are an educator, if you are a foster parent, whatever, and you have access to children, please come out to this event on Thursday, August 11th, to hear Dr. Umar speak about the school to prison pipeline. The name of the lecture is from grade school to the graveyard. This is what we do not want, yet we see that this is taking place. We want to see how we can be a part of the change. So come hear this man speak, get good information, and take it on and run with it. That's what I've got, and it's a free event, as Brother Muhammad is saying, at no cost to you. However, if you would like to donate to the cause to show any level of appreciation, that is definitely welcome and appreciated also.
Beautiful. All right, sister. And we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with our treasurer, Brother Jody Summers, Spoken Truth, Childish System, they, them. Hey, look, we, us. Okay, my fault. We and us.
Uh-oh.
All right. All right. Hey, all right. It's all good. He already know. All right. Plus, I got witnesses here just in case he beat me up. Hey, listen, this is CSRN, our weekly podcast. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent, and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
But that's all right. That's all. See, that's what you get. All right, bringing up my past right here on live TV. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. That's my mom. And for the world to know, Bible Way Church or Apostolic is my Christian home. Bishop Mitchell, the whole Mitchell family are part of my spiritual building blocks. That's something that you may not have known. He also headed the Bible Way school, where my younger brother attended the school, and my mom was working there. All right. And some people say, well, we didn't see you at Bible Way. Well, that's a story for another time. All right. That was before I became Brother Washington. And I love Bible Way because even though during that time, my mom was a beautiful woman, even though I wasn't the best son at that time, but she got a chance to see me participate and practice everything that she taught me or she passed. So yeah, and I may be the only Muslim, maybe in Toledo at least, with the Holy Ghost certificate. All right, because back then when you received the Holy Ghost, you got a certificate. All right, and I got that in my firebox at home. So hey. You want some, come get some, all right? So listen, family, I've got with me, and we're going to do some loose ends.
Some loose ends, some views and stuff. Right. And see, I have a good segue because, again, it's nice to be in person and see everybody and stuff like that. But as I always say when we do our show live and everything, or even when we maybe possibly before the end of the summer get back to live in person meetings.
Oh, absolutely.
What happens when a Christian is and a Muslim step into a room?
I don't know. That sounds like one of those jokes that's going to get us canceled.
Strange.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. All right.
I'm a Buddhist, by the way. So, again, it brings everything together. I think the world is being torn apart by so many ideologies and so many people that think they know what's best for your life. They forget to talk to you. I mean, it's as I've learned, it's kind of all the same goal. We just got, some different branches and stuff. But if you're part of something that demonizes somebody else and they haven't talked to them, haven't had a conversation, I want to check out who's leading or who we're following. So, yeah, that's just my little spill of tea on that. And do we got that flyer again? So
Yeah,
people
yeah,
can see
okay,
it
all
again?
right. I got you.
Put that up so
I got you.
everybody can see it.
Right there, and as Jody was saying, we got the players right between us. All right, that's what's up. Hey, this is the psychoacademic war against black boys. All right, from grade school to the graveyard, August the 11th. Save the date, 6 p.m. and call 419-742-6271 if you want to support. If you're like, hey, look, I love what you're doing. I can't be there, but can I send a donation? Can I support you? Can I support you? Can I support you? And this is a free event, family.
Is the flyer on your page? Okay, so I'll be resharing it.
And right, share it and watch how many not likes you get. But I'm willing to pay that. I'm willing to pay that, and that lets me know I'm doing something. All right. If everybody ain't liking it, we're doing something right.
That's true.
If everybody liking us, hey, we about to get our page shut down. All right. All right. So I'm good for this. I'm with it, and this is good. So it's going to be hosted by our sister Shannon Riven. We got the speaker, Dr. Umar Johnson, Greater New Psalmist Church, 3251 Glendale Avenue. Dr. Umar Toledo at gmail.com if you want to hit us up on email. Listen, family, you got everything. All right, except an excuse to not be in attendance. All right, I will be in the building because I'm already outside.
All righty. So I guess a couple of things on loose ends because there's always stuff going on. I first want to clap loudly. But for anybody that is actually trying to do something, no matter what it is, even if you're trying to start a chess club in the hood, I know a few people, but that takes something away from the trendiness of TikTok and social media and pointing fingers when actually, as I came in this morning, everybody was all super positive. I actually wrote number 28 of the childhood trauma series. And then I get on after work and everybody's pointing fingers and talking about the cipher and all this stuff. And I'm like, but if you took all those fingers and just started hugging people or got off your phone and started calling people, things would be a little bit better. But some people you can't actually call. So that's why we have the social media.
Yeah,
it's good, but it's also a weapon. Social media is a weapon. It all depends on how you use it. For good, or you can use it for bad. It's like pens and books and histories that get rewritten by people who did the most atrocious, horrendous crimes and raise flags from. But getting off topic. So just a couple of things, because I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the city, but 24th, one of the things I'm part of is Luxurious Unique's 1-year anniversary. It's going to be at All Occasions Hall. That is, and you can probably see it on my reels, 5359 Dorr Street. There'll be over 20 vendors on site, online photographer, O. Henry's food truck, and a live DJ. Of course, I'll be there with the big blue tent, except I don't think I'm bringing a tent because I'm inside. But all the artwork, the books, crystals, all that good stuff that I have. So that's going on 24th. And then there's some other stuff every weekend. And I keep hearing this too. Why can't we have just one giant event? It's nice. It's kind of a paradise thing, but the reality of it is it's better. It would be, because then a lot of people wouldn't show up because a lot of people aren't ready to face their demons. A lot of people just, I don't want to see 30 candle vendors in one line. I can't buy from you because if I buy from you, I got a person staring, looking at me, and I only brought so much money. I've been vending, I've been entertainment for more than 20 plus years. They started putting me on camera at 5. So I love the idea of everybody's now an entrepreneur. Yeah, everybody's doing a pop-up shop, man. But it's sort of feeling like another trap, another distraction. Because if everybody's super, nobody is. So you're getting mad at the next person because they're like, I want to start my own business. The business takes 3 to 5 years. A lot of people fail within the first year to 6 months. So I do what I can to support, but I also am not going to like, oh man, I got to buy restock or I got to buy this camera.
Right.
But then that restock is going to take me to where I can't be there. I can't help people. And you just can't be mad at people. You have to be like, hey, we'll hit you back. Right now, I have clothing. So I can't buy a shirt or stuff. But if you take a picture with me in your shirt, I'm going to reciprocate. Or I'll just send you a donation because I know how hard it is to get a foothold in business. And I'm running it. So other events that's coming up. Woodstock. There's also, it's not here, but it's out there. The 17th annual African American Festival is on the 6th. There's a few things on the 6th. Woodstock is July 31st. So that's the next thing I'm going to be going at. I'm one of the board members there. That is going to be at Ottawa Park, not City Park this year, unfortunately. Life happens, permits, all that stuff, everything. Final stuff, but it's still happening. So we'll have book bags, we'll have entertainers, we'll have vendors. Shout out to Devin Fagan for still keeping us alive no matter what's going on in the world. And he says we should have one big event. He's still trying to make this happen. I'll be bringing book bags. We might get a donation from CSRN. So the 31st from 11 to 7 p.m. Ottawa Park. Hopefully see you there. And my last thing, can go on my page. I show stuff as much as I can every day. The 6th, which is the same day as the African American Festival, for my brain skip, is the Stop the Violence, gun violence, actually. And it's not a gun ban. It's just to bring awareness to this. We'll have keynote speaker Sean Mahone. I'm hosting. My friend Z is hosting. There'll be.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
tell me
humble.
nothing.
Like, if there's something going on, there was a person that said, "Can you tell me some artists?" I put 45 artists in there, not myself. It's not about me. I want to help people. So that's going to be a bike ride from Sleepy Hollow Park starting at 11:30. You can contact Rochelle. You can find her on Facebook. See it on my post. I believe I'm putting the grill up tomorrow or day after tomorrow. And if you want to be a vendor or any event that I mentioned that is a week out or more, call the organizer, contact them, and you can probably be a part of this event. Don't be scared to ask. Those mouths don't get fed.
All right.
But at noon, we'll be at the Frederick Douglass Center where we'll have speakers, entertainers, dance teams, artists, all that good stuff. So hopefully we can see you out there. Hopefully, if you have some ideas, you will speak up. Because almost none of the events that I've ever been to, they've told the audience to be silent.
Okay.
So I think that's about it. Because we're already at 7:29.
Right. And
got
let's not
lives
forget
to live.
Black Men Unfiltered is coming up.
Yes,
All
Black
right.
Men Unfiltered is coming up. I'm in that movie too, along with Sons of Toledo.
We've got Black Lido, and every time you slam the table,
Yeah,
you
I gotta
slam the
remember that.
camera. All right, man. When Shannon was here, we had the smoothest camera. All
Oh
right.
no, I saw that last 10 minutes.
No. Okay, all right.
I gotta remember that we got new setup and stuff.
Yeah, we got a new setup. All right, we got Bike Rides Matter every Saturday, Uptown Green. And we've got our brother, Dr. Coleman, that's going to be speaking soon at the program. All right? So we're looking forward, we're pumping everybody up. You know, that's how we do. And listen, family, as we close out, we have something called 5 minutes of heat. We came up with that because, I come from the arts, and I realized that if we're going to do things our way, it just can't be a gavel at the end of the meeting and everybody leave.
No Robert's rules.
Right. No, Robert. No. We're done with that. We're done with all of that. However, creative expression, that's who we are. That's what we do. We do things with soul. So, Jody has been our resident spoken word person. Not that we, depend on him like that. We thank you for using your gift freely.
Thank you for pushing my pen forward.
Absolutely. Oh, should be getting the cut. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, but we should. Hey, listen, what do you have for us today?
So, again, as I was saying, I woke up this morning, a lot going on in my mind, got on my timeline, and it's normally about that point where people are still positive, they haven't found them to be angry about, and I take breaks in between stuff. So I've been on a hiatus since July 1st. I've written about 70, 75 pieces and burned them because they weren't fitting where I wanted to, but I had to get them out. today I was looking down my timeline and I saw all the stuff about the recent cipher that happened in Toledo. I got to stop touching the table. Cipher that happened in Toledo. And then it made me think of this, which is now going to be 28. I'll be recording or uploading it tomorrow.
All right.
It's called Cerebral. So let's begin. Peace. Cerebral. Stop waiting on people for you to be great. No one is supposed to fully understand the light that resides in you. Your words will only manifest true if you put the work in. Stop waiting on people for you to be great. The life you want is just on the other side of fear, dedication, and sacrifice. The combination of those three elements will manifest things in this reality you couldn't dream would exist. Stop waiting for people for you to be great. Holding on to material things, monetary assets, people who aren't meant to be forever, and entitlements will never be fulfilling. You must find your passion within yourself and be okay with letting go of things that only give you temporary excitement. Stop waiting on people for you to be great. You are not meant to be someone's prized possession. Be very wary of those that see people as opportunities instead of investments or strong bonds, because they will sell you out to the highest bidder as long as they can make a profit. Stop waiting on people for you to be great. Please do not be consumed by the black holes that surround you, for their job is to eat the weak. Shine brightly and let your luminescence guide you to others that glow in the same frequencies, so you can wake up those whose lights have diminished from isolation. Stop waiting on people for you to be great. Healing is a process that takes a lifetime. Do not be discouraged because you haven't reached some imaginary point. Your only goal should be growth and branching out to those that bear the fruit that will allow others to grow. Stop waiting on people for you to be great. Do not compare yourself to the achievements of others, because that will leave you always reaching for something that is not yours. Find solace in knowing that you are unique and the creator of your destiny if you choose to always seek growth. And peace.
And we snap our fingers. All right.
Still fresh today.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And as always, we're going to close out with our solidarity pledge. I'm going to say I, and you say I. And this pledge isn't anything that would take you away from any principles of doing good, principles of justice, or principles of fair dealing. This is our commitment to ourselves. And this pledge was first said at the Million Man March when I was there in 1995 in the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Said this pledge, and we're saying something a bit different that fits us here and now. So if you can repeat after me, say I.
I.
Your name.
Jody.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To love my brothers and my sisters.
To love my brothers and my sisters.
As I love myself.
As I love myself.
I. Your name.
J. Summers.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To study.
To study.
To improve myself.
To improve myself.
Spiritually.
Spiritually.
Mentally.
Mentally.
Morally.
Morally.
And physically.
And physically.
For the benefit of myself.
For the benefit of myself.
My family.
My family.
And my people.
And my people. I.
Your name.
Child of the system.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To be a part of the solution.
To be a part of the solution.
The process.
The process.
And not the problem.
And not the problem.
I.
Your name. Spoken truth.
pledge to strive
to
give all that I could spare
give all that I can spare
of my time,
my strength,
and energy to achieve the above said. Beautiful. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you for everybody that's watching this podcast. And as always, all lives can't matter until Black lives matter. And Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Justice or else. Peace.